Guys, it's Nadia from LiaDia Designs and I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be playing around with iridescent paper. So we're going to be kind of going for an opal kind of look, but not really. We're just going to kind of play around with colors and see what happens. So the first thing I have is 4 different colors, kind of sheerly pigmented so that we can still see through them. And so I've mixed these with pigment pastes and just the tiniest bit just to kind of tint our resin. You'll see in the top corner there that I have the quantities for you, the measurements, so this way you'll know. And I just picked 4 colors that I thought looked pretty, kind of gemstone or jewel tone looking. So, and again, it looks more opaque than it actually is here on camera. But you'll see once I kind of get them spread out that you can see my fingers through there. So yeah, it's actually quite sheer, and I spread the first one without heating it, and it was just taking too long. So I decided I was going to heat the other ones to kind of warm the resin up a bit so that it would move a little bit faster. So we're just going to spread we put a very thin layer just to kind of cover the bottom, and we're going to spread that around to make sure that we've gotten all the corners for all the different colors. And then once we've done that, then we're going to add in our iridescent paper. So again, just kind of spreading that out nice and thin. And you can, like I said, you can see how just slightly tinted these are. I would even go maybe lighter even next time, but for now this is a great color for the tests. So I had pre-cut my iridescent paper, and this is the same type of paper that you can get from the dollar store or from any store that you get like basket wrap from and things like that. So yeah, so we crinkled it up and then we just set it into the resin. And I'm patting it down here just so, trying to get it somewhat flat, but not 100% flat, because we do want a little bit of that, definition and that depth there so that we get some really cool effects. So going into a quick little time lapse here as I'm fussing with these and trying to get them laid in. And you can already see just with those colored backgrounds how having a slightly colored background actually affects the look of the iridescent paper. And then I went ahead and put a thin layer of each of the colors back on top. I'm not truly convinced if this was necessary. I think we could even have put clear and the color would have shown through just fine. But I had already colored all the pigment, all the resin, so we just went ahead with that. Okay, so once we have the second layer of colored resin over the iridescent paper, what we're going to do is add some design. So I have a little bit of resin that I mixed up here with some white pigment, and again this is pigment paste, as well as some gold pigment mixed in with a little bit of resin, and also a glitter that's kind of a silvery white. So again, these I didn't highly pigment the resin here. They're somewhat transparent so that it can blend nicely with the background. We don't want anything too sharp in terms of our designs here. It's more just to kind of have some movement and interest. And so once we get all the colors added in, the gold and the glitter added in, then we'll go back with the heat gun and we will blend it in, just to kind of remove any of the sharp lines and just kind of see if we can get something interesting happening here. So we have some really cool kind of waves happening in our on our coasters here. So now I'm just going to go through and see if I can add a little bit more in terms of some lines or some glitter, and just kind of, I don't know, play around with it. And this takes a little bit of time. So this entire process from beginning to end, from when I poured the resin to when I kind of felt I was ready to stop and just let it sit to harden overnight, it was about 20 minutes. So I have sped up a lot of the video here so that you guys can kind of see what I did, but just know that it did take time, and I really didn't really want to rush it. I just wanted to play and see what we could do, if anything kind of looked interesting, what was working, what wasn't working. I really liked how the colors were blending and it was giving this soft kind of look. And then again, going back in with the glitter to add a little bit more sparkle and interest in there. I found that the glitter kind of sunk a little bit as well, but then it also spread slightly. So it ends up giving a really nice look without kind of sitting on top, which actually worked out really well for this design. So once I was done here, then I basically just checked for bubbles and then let it sit overnight and came back in the morning to unmold it. And we're back in the next morning, and again I'm going to speed this up just because when I took it out of the molds I had overfilled the mold slightly, and it ended up with a kind of a lot of a bit of a lip around the entire coaster, which I needed to cut off just because it bothers me. So I was taking my utility knife, and again guys, just really be careful if you're going to do this kind of stuff. I'm very familiar with working with utility knives and X-Acto knives, so this doesn't really bother me that much, but regardless, still be very careful. And but yes, I did that for each coaster as I was unmolding it. I just wanted to take that extra lip off so I could see what the kind of final look was. And I have another kind of beauty shot video at the end here of this tutorial, so this way you can see what the final look was, because I know I sped this up here, so you're not going to get a great look at them. But so this way, yeah, so anyways, I think these turned out really pretty, with the kind of those gemstone, jewel tone type of colors and a little bit of iridescent sparkling through. So I don't, again, as I was saying earlier in the video, I don't know necessarily if we needed to have the colored resin on top of the iridescent paper as well, or if it was sufficient just to have it underneath. But for this particular experiment, I think it worked out fine. Maybe on the next one, if I decide I want to do another something else along similar lines, I might try doing clear and then see if that maybe just gives a different look, and then maybe the iridescent shows even more than it does on these pieces here. So one thing I noticed when I flip them over is there are little bubbles pockets on the bottom of the coasters. So obviously that's from when I was pushing the paper down, that I must have captured some air underneath there. So I'll have to figure out a solution for that. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know, and I'll have to experiment with that next time. Anyways, guys, let me know what you thought of these. Do you like them? Which color is your favorite? And if you did like the video, please like and subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And also underneath the video in the YouTube description, there's going to be the full list of the products that I use, the brands that I like. There's a lot of links in there, so you can, and there's also some discount codes. So feel free to check there for a full list of what it is that I use. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks guys, take care, bye.